you remember about September 11th? Where were you, and what was sort of going through your head as those events unfolded?
When it happened, I was on my way home from work because I worked graveyard, and I heard it on the radio, and I called back to work and told them to turn it all on so that everybody knew what was going on. I went home and I woke my husband up, and we turned the TV on just in time to see the plane crash into the second tower, and we sat just in shock that it was happening, and then the whole day was just sad, waiting for information. And then I sat on the couch for the next couple of days just waiting and hoping they would find people.
Actually, I remember pretty well, like a lot of people, and I got a call from my sister who lives in New York, not New York City, but upstate, and she told me that a plane flew into one of the Twin Towers. And at first, like probably a lot of people, I thought it was just an accident. And then shortly after that, turned on the TV and saw there was a second plane flying into the other Twin Tower. So obviously it wasn't an accident at that point.
On September 11th, I was working at Oregon Steel Mills, and I was on my way from my office into a meeting in our boardroom, and everybody, when I got there, was gathered around a television set, and they were just saying, we can't believe this is happening. And we saw the planes, and then, we just stood there, and bit by bit we saw the buildings come down. And I think most of all, our first instinct was just to be in shock. We just couldn't believe that what we were seeing was real in front of us.
It's a surreal moment. I mean, you really, when you look back, there's those moments that you realize that, something that you're never going to forget is happening. And that's one of those moments, it's that surreal moment where, you remember exactly where you are, exactly what you were doing, and that's it's just kind of a surreal moment going, is this really happening?
Astonishment, like a lot of people. From a personal standpoint, my brother used to work in the Twin Towers prior to that, probably a couple of years earlier, so knowing that there are people that live there, and I was from New York, and so it kind of struck home.
How did the rest of the day play out? I mean, did you sort of just sit and watch?
I think there wasn't a lot of work that got done that day. I think everybody was talking to everybody about what they saw and what it might mean, and there was, as I recall, there was some fear about what might happen next. And then when we saw what happened with the Pentagon and some of the other things that were going on that day, was a lot of fear.
It's pretty tragic, but everyone said you'll think about it every day of your life, but I don't think that's true for me. I never even really think about it until you mentioned it. I think once you have a tragedy, that you got your other things you think about in life, so I don't even really think about it anymore.
Just go to the airport and you'll know. Things have definitely changed. I mean, the lines are a lot longer at the airport, which I'm totally okay with. Things have changed. Things have changed for the better. I really do feel safer than I did 10 years ago, but I didn't feel unsafe then.
The biggest disappointment is that there's so much partisanship now, and I think an opportunity was missed there where it could have brought the country together more permanently. I think that's unfortunate, and it seems like it's only getting worse. So.
I think the country has changed a lot over the last probably 20 years. I think it was starting to change a lot before 9/11, but I don't know, I really wish that people would sort of go back to some of the thoughts that they had immediately following that, of togetherness and working together and people caring about each other. I think maybe some of these storms we've had recently have brought up some of that, but I think that people sort of go back to life as usual and forget about just how fortunate we really are in this country.
I don't know, it's kind of weird. I mean, everybody remembers September 11th, but other than around the time when everybody brings it up and reminds you, life goes on, unfortunately for us, and that one time a year seems to be the time where everybody thinks, and you're just happy for your family and everybody being safe, and you feel bad for their families, but just kind of move on and hope that it never happens again.